micro and macro reading skills. B. Song sketches. The CLB Canadian Language Benchmarks has determined for broad skills reading, writing, listening, and speaking. To many people, these were the obvious categories in language skill. Inside of these skills, the experience and effective is essential. For example, experienced and effective readers are different from inexperienced readers because they vary their approach appropriately to the material they are reading and to their purpose. The other point is level is the first is beginner and the final level is advanced. These skills work in synchronicity and it is not easy to differentiate on one from another. Reading at a beginner level uses certain fundamental skills that will be used in every application. Is the letter recognition, and these fundamental skills will be used the same times as ones on more advanced levels has to direct gains ability is the main idea or identify the main idea. The next point is principal the macro reading skills for the comprehension. We have this skill this macro reading skill have 7 points. The first point is recognize the rhetorical form for interpretation. The second point is recognize the communicative functions of writing text. The third point is infer context that is not explicit by using background knowledge. The fourth point is from describe events, ideas, etc. Infer links and connection between events. The fifth point is distinguish between literal and implicit meanings. The sixth point is detect culturally specific reference and interpret them in a context of the appropriate cultural schemata. The seventh point is developing reading strategies such as scanning and skimming, detective discourse markers, etc. for the interpretation of text. And the other skill is the micro skills for reading comprehension. We have 7 points. The first point is discriminate orthographic patterns of English. The next point is retain chunks of language of different lengths. Third point is process writing at an efficient rate of speed to suit the purpose. The fourth point is recognize and core of words and interpreted word order patterns. The fifth point is reorganize grammatical word classes, for example, nouns, verbs, etc. The sixth point is recognize that a particular meaning might be expressed in different grammatical forms. And the final point, that point 7, is recognize cohesive device in written discourse and their role in signaling the relationship between and among clauses. Okay, in my opinion, I relate it to the moment of giving a subject as the perfect present, since in order to teach a new subject to the students, it's necessary that they learn to organize the ideas and the micro and macro skills of reading would enter science, since depending on the level on mastery of the language that the students have will be facilitated in order to make use the use of these skills. For example, first I will focus on teaching them with macro skill, which will be the correct way to organize sentence, what kind of verbs they should use, as well as how and why they should use them. And the second is I will use text in which they will develop their reading, so that I could give them examples of how to organize ideas so that they could create their whole writings. And to finish, I will use the macro skills, where you will already have the ability to write stories and write slightly more consistent ideas on the subject of the present perfect. For my part, that's all. Thank you.